Very nice too. I hope the sun is shining. Hello Facebook, hello YouTube. Just saying to our friends here on Instagram that today we're going for a deep dive, literally quite deep because we're talking about the gut, with one of our favourite experts, the brand founder Kevin Levers of The Naked Pharmacy. And what I love about this brand is that they have really targeted, interesting supplements that you tend not to find anywhere else. And they are launching something brand new. So pin back your ears because it's all about gut health. And we're talking about different strains of beneficial bacteria. So we're looking at all the different varieties of probiotics, how we can get them in a format that actually work. Because I know it's confusing. I can see comments here on Instagram already saying, I'm so confused. What should I be taking? What do all the different varieties mean? Well, Kevin is going to be on hand to tell us exactly. The 101, as they say. Hi, Rachel. Rachel's joining everybody on Facebook. And I'm hopefully going to get... let's just see. Hopefully we can get Kevin in the house.
There we are. Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. I'm just adjusting my camera so I'm not chopping my head off. How are you?
Excellent. Yeah, I'm doing very well. Possibly because I've started taking Gut Love.
Brilliant. Great.
Honestly, I've been genning up on it, obviously, as I do my research before these lives. And it's outstanding. I mean, you must be so proud of this formulation, having written about probiotics and for so many years, ever since first researching The Good Gut Guide, which was my first book on gut health, and being aware of all the different strains and having people ask me all the time, so which one do you take? What are the different strains? What do they all do? It's so confusing. You've just cut straight to the chase with this, haven't you?
Yes, we've gone. I wanted to launch a probiotic for years, and I really wanted to make sure when I launched it, it was one that I feel proud of. And I love the fact that we've come up with a name that sort of matches the ethos behind it, which is giving your gut. Yeah, absolutely. Sort of nurturing that gut. And the more I sort of research this sector, the more I realise how interconnected the gut is to every system in your body. So, you know, your nervous system, your hormonal system, which we're talking about a bit more today. So yeah. I think it's a really important product for us, and I think it's probably becoming our best selling product already. Only a month after launch.
I was going to say, it's kind of days old, isn't it? And if you want to check out the Naked Pharmacy website, so much information on there. Thank you very much for our discount. We're super appreciative. 20%, and that, just to clarify, that's off everything on your website.
All the Naked Pharmacy products.
Yeah. All the Naked Pharmacy products. Amazing. Super generous. Really, really appreciate it. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of this. So Gut Love. So first of all, we know that probiotics and gut health, it's so important to keep our gut properly populated. Before we go into the whys, can we just say very quickly what this has got in it? Because it's not just probiotics, is it? You've got 21 different probiotics, you've got prebiotics, 19 billion friendly bacteria, I'm not sure how they all fit in here, plus you've got baobab and slippery elm. So anybody who's got upset tummies, digestive issues, IBS, inflammation in the gut, leaky gut, I know that IBS is one of the things that medical herbalists traditionally use all the time, isn't it?
Sorry, just pause there briefly. The prebiotics are really important because it's nurturing those bacteria in the gut, so it's the fertilizer that helps them grow. Yeah, we start out with 19 billion, but we want them to grow to larger quantities in the gut, so obviously you want that fertilizer to help that.
Wow, so it's like giving you the seeds and the fertilizer at the same time. Clever.
Absolutely, and fundamental. You can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
And most of us have had several courses of antibiotics in our life. We're probably, a little bit stressed. We know that stress impacts on the gut biome. And gradually over time, as we get older, that biome narrows in terms of the variety and the quantity in the gut. And you talk about the variety of foods, the different colour foods, the polyphenols that you're putting in there. Those are the prebiotics. in your food. So when you're eating a good quality, diverse diet, plant-based diet, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
We're just doing more of the same. But the slippery elm is performing another function, which is protecting the lining. So it's more of a herbal ingredient. It's lining the stomach and the gut itself, so it's protective. So if you have a lot of acid and you've got a bit of indigestion, and maybe you might be on an antacid for some reason, that is a really good regular thing to be taking every day.
Slippery elm is great, I have to say. You know, Lily, who's had so many digestive upsets and stomach ulcers and all things from all that pain medication that she's on, she takes slippery elm. It's a lifesaver.
Yeah, and both of these are organic. The prebiotics, including the slippery elm, are organic. So, you know, it's my passion is wherever possible we go organic, because I think that's important to not to be affecting the environment where you're sourcing the ingredients from. So that's a big passion of mine. And it's also coating the bacteria themselves. So each of these 19 strains of probiotic are tested to pass through the stomach acid and to land where it's supposed to in the gut. So they're tested to be stable to acid. They're stable at room temperature.
Right.
But we also add the slippery elm to coat the bacteria themselves to provide an extra layer of protection.
Okay, so it's doing double duty. So that was one of the questions I was going to ask for you, because we're often told that when we take supplements and they hit the stomach, there's such a huge concentration of intense stomach acid that it all kind of breaks down before it gets into the gut. But you've actually taken steps to make sure that doesn't happen?
Yeah, so we've very, very carefully selected the strains and the source and the way they're manufactured to pass through the stomach acid safely. And we formulated with the two prebiotics, including the slippery elm, just to add that bit of extra protection. So we want as many of those 19 billion colonies to get through to the intestines as possible. So we don't want them dying off in the gut. So one thing I would add is if you can swallow your capsules with cold water or sort of lukewarm water rather than a hot drink, we don't want to kind of burn them on the way down, because these are live bacteria.
Our little friends. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Now, talk to me about the strains, because when I looked into the strains that you're including, you've got 21 different probiotics in this, and I remember writing my Good Gut Guide years ago, and there were two that really stood out for me that I actually found quite hard to find in usual blends, and I'm really delighted to see that they're in here. One is L. reuteri and the other one is L. rhamnosus. And reuteri, I'll let you talk about it, but this was my understanding of it, is that reuteri is the one that affects oxytocin in the brain and mood and makes you feel happy, potentially. And rhamnosus is the one that's particularly effective for women, for pelvic infections, UTIs, bacterial vaginosis, all those kinds of things. Am I on the right lines there?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I love the fact that you spotted them before we did. So, I don't know, when was your book out?
Oh, about 6 years ago.
Yeah, okay, so you got there before I did, I think. So,
you were busy doing other things, come on.
Oh, I think, I was probably too much kind of spreadsheets and business at that point, I think. So, so I think each of those strains are doing a specific job. You have to remember that they're not working in isolation, so which is why we want the broadest spectrum of bacteria. Each of them are doing their own job, and they're working with the enzymes within the gut. And this is the impact. The enzymes and the bacteria together. So the L, lactobacillus, is the name. Reuteri, rhamnosus, acidophilus. They're all interacting with the enzymes, and it's amazing how important those enzymes and the bacteria together are for hormonal balance. So we're mentioning menopause today, and the impact of the lactobacillus species, particularly those 2 or 3 strains, on estrogen metabolism and the way it's processed in the gut. And it's particularly important to make sure that the bad forms of estrogen are reabsorbed into the system, which is where it starts to have the side effects that we commonly see with menopause symptoms.
Yeah.
So, I love the fact that, I talk about the orchestra effect a lot. And I kind of feel as if this is like an orchestra, a health orchestra in a bottle. So, and they're all kind of doing their different functions. They've all got their different instruments to play. And the interaction is not in isolation.
So for midlife women then, because that is the majority of my community here, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, what are we finding and learning now about the microbiome and the role of probiotics that perhaps we didn't realise before?
I think specifically for estrogen and the estrogen metabolites and the way it balances those metabolites within the gut and makes sure that the enzymes are not overworking the bad forms of those estrogens. And I had a call with my other pharmacist yesterday, who's a brilliant expert in this, Yolanta, and she went through all the different phases of liver metabolism and the different forms of estrogen. And it's such a complex area.
Yeah, it is.
And it's important that you sort of balance these from different angles. So I didn't want just one lactobacillus species to be in there. So you might see some probiotics, just one or two or three strains. So it's really important that you have that broad diversity of strains, because that's where the true balance comes from.
Yes, because there are so many. It's not just lactobacillus, is it? There are just...
Yeah,
and there are more being discovered all the time. A lot of, I know my viewers and listeners and watchers here will be on HRT. Is there any interaction, any contraindication with medications?
No, I think this is where the integrated approach works really, really well. And so we want this to be taken alongside on a regular basis to HRT. Best of both worlds.
Absolutely.
We're not an either or at Naked Pharmacy. No. We're really about, what's the best approach for the individual from both the conventional and the natural camp? And if that means a combination of the two, I think this is going to enhance the effects of the HRT because of the way it processes the good and bad estrogens.
Yes.
So Yolanta yesterday said that a lot of her, she has clients, a lot of her clients will come back after a certain period of time where the HRT has stopped working. And she said that is because of the change in the dynamic of the different forms of estrogen and the way it's metabolized by the liver. So if you can keep inputting these probiotics and prebiotics, it's going to stop that from happening.
Yeah, that is really fascinating. And I think, it's worth bearing in mind that estrogen isn't just one thing. And anybody who's using, estrogel will see that it says estradiol 17 on it. Yes. And there's a reason for that. It's because it's one of, so many different available and the way that they work in the gut. And I hadn't actually made that connection that there are certain bacteria in the gut that are supporting estrogen function. I mean, that is really fascinating and very relevant, particularly to midlife women and women in later life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So just worth mentioning, we couldn't fit all the names of the different species on the label, so we have a peel back label there.
Oh, do you? So so it does. Thank you.
So if you peel back the corner, you will see the
full
full
list. Prepare to be revealed.
A big reveal, yeah. So,
hey! Oh my goodness, they're all there. Can you see? That is brilliantly exciting. For a label geek like me, I spend a long time.
I'm excited about that sort of stuff as well.
I'm super excited. This will be my bedtime reading, Kevin. And I should be looking each one up with intent. And it's also great to know that there's so much out there. And, some of the original formulations, I won't name brands, that I've used and recommended over the years, they're great, but they've been around a long time. And this is such a fast-moving, emerging science. And we're hearing all the time, you only have to look on PubMed or any of these gut health journals to realise that the number of benefits that are being discovered from all the different species. And it seems to be that the variety is the key, isn't it? It's about having lots of different strains, diversity, and then giving them the opportunity to thrive in a really healthy environment, to plant lots of different seeds, but then to keep them all growing.
Yes, absolutely, and that creates a beautiful microbiome, and that's exactly what your body needs. It's kind of doing all these different jobs in different directions, sending chemicals up to your brain, up to your heart, you know, in your circulatory system. It's so fundamental, and I totally agree with you. I think that this formula will probably change in about 12 months' time again as we evolve with the science. So I think that, and I love the idea that it's not fixed. Okay, new information's coming in. There'll be new strains coming through where I want to add those to, and who knows, we might have 40 or 50 in the future. You know, as science develops and we catch up.
Sure. Couple of quick practical questions. Firstly, is it safe for everybody and all ages, and men as well as women?
We say from 12 years upwards, and because of the number of strains, 19 billion, we think that might be a little bit of a surprise to the system of a younger system, if you like. So we are formulating a new product which will be for children below 12, which will be won't be in a capsule. So that will be coming out probably early next year, I think. But initially, this is for 12 years and upwards.
Okay.
And
men too will benefit?
Absolutely, yeah. Good. So this the formulation has been put together for men and women. So it's really important. There are strains. The body will select from the menu, if you like, the menu of probiotics, what it needs. And I think the body's amazing instrument. If you give it the tools, give it the fuel that it needs, it will kind of pick out the probiotics, the polyphenols, etc.
Yeah. And of course,
you know, I've been taking it for.
Go on.
Sorry, I've been taking it for about 6 weeks as well, so I'm on it as well.
Excellent. And of course, we have to remember that our good gut bugs, no matter how well we look after them, in time they do die off, which is why you need to keep taking a probiotic on a regular basis if you want to ensure that you've got all these colonies thriving and outstripping the bad guys. Because remember, there is this kind of microbial battle that's going on inside your gut. The good gut bugs and the bad bugs, and you know there tend to be a lot of bad bugs if you have a high sugar diet, for example, because sugar feeds the bad bugs. So ideally, obviously, cut back on your sugar or cut it out altogether, but giving the good gut bugs support and calling in for reinforcements, basically, isn't it? Which is what you're doing here.
Yeah, and I think it's not a short-term fix. They're saying, you know, you'll say kind of take it for a week. I mean, there are some products we have that will say, yeah, fine, if the symptoms go, then stop. I think with gut microbiome, I think it's a medium to long-term job.
Yeah.
You know, if you listen to some of Tim Spector's talks, you know, I really respect him. And, you know, I think he did an experiment with one of his sons and showed how long it took to restore his son's microbiome with probiotics and plant-based diet after effectively he'd given him a very poor diet for a period of time. So I think it was very kind of his son to volunteer for that study. But I admire his professionalism.
Yeah.
But I think I totally agree with it. I think it's a medium to long-term job. I think you should be on prebiotics and probiotics for at least 6 months.
Yes.
And continue, even if it's down to a maintenance dose. So we have a dose of 1 or 2 capsules. So,
okay, depending. Yeah,
depending.
And obviously, if anybody has taken any antibiotics in the past, it's really good, isn't it, to put the probiotics back in. Perhaps start with a double dose, and then for the first month or something, and then settle down to one a day.
Yeah, I never underestimate the power of antibiotics to reduce and narrow your microbiome.
Yeah,
they're very effective, but unfortunately, there's a side effect. If you go to France, you'll get a probiotic alongside your prescription.
I know. That happened to me in France. It's automatic. It's extraordinary. I'm pretty sure that might happen in Italy as well, that the pharmacist will just say, you know, you're having an antibiotic, so obviously you need a probiotic. And you take them alongside, don't you? So could you take this while you're actually on antibiotics?
Absolutely. I think it's a great thing to do. Really,
amazing.
Really good thing. It's been a long time since I've had an antibiotic, but it will be an automatic for me. I mean, I'm taking them anyway, so.
Yeah. And last question on this before we just quickly cover off a few of the other things. What time of day is best? Does it need to be on an empty stomach?
I take mine with my breakfast.
Yeah.
I think if you take it with your main meal, it's a reminder. I think anything you can do, it doesn't matter if it's an empty stomach, but anything you can do to make sure you take your daily dose.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the most fundamental thing. If you're forgetting 2 or 3 days, it has an impact. So take the dose. And if that's with food, whichever meal that you'll remember, that's the most important thing.
Great. So it doesn't matter too much. Just take it is the message. Thank you. So that's gut love. Just before we go, there have been a number of questions coming in that I've seen on Instagram of people who are loving all your things. And they're all quite different, and it may be that people are taking a whole stash of things because they all do different things, don't they?
Yes.
So, you know, you've got, let's just give me a quick overview. So Naturaflex, which I mentioned, which is the one that I take, I use this now instead of ibuprofen as an anti-inflammatory.
Yes.
And I've had some inflammation issues. I love it.
Yeah, me too. It was one of our first, and
was it?
It's one of my favourites. You know, for my runs, you know, it really does have an impact and reduces the recovery time. Yeah. I think that the impact on your gut health is huge. A lot of people's guts are inflamed, so if you have a reactive gut, then one capsule a day, you know, opened out in a shake if you want, or a smoothie, then it's a really good thing to do.
Super powerful turmeric. Love it. Yeah. It's really, I take it every day.
I don't know whether I've got my jar of turmeric behind me, but...
I remember you showing me that one capsule was like this huge jar of turmeric powder. It's so powerful.
So we squeeze it in, and using a bit of modern technology to get it into one capsule.
And then, lastly, the other thing, which I know is a bit of an oldie, but it's such a goodie, for anxiety and stress, and I give this to one of my children in particular, Saffrosun. The crocus. This was the very first thing that we talked about.
Yeah. I remember it all those years ago.
All those years ago. Still take it. Still have it in my kitchen every day. So Alison's asking about suggestions for anxious daughter at uni. Definitely. Saffrosun. Definitely.
2 capsules in the morning. You'd be amazed how fast it works. You know, 3 or 4 days in. Yeah. You'll just find yourself not reacting to stressful situations like you were before.
Absolutely.
And I've had a lot of cases of cynical people kind of take it and then realise a few days later that they weren't shouting at the kids or reacting to a stressful situation at work just because it's dialed down that stress hormone cortisol in the morning. Yeah.
And also I love the fact that you do the kids version. And, you know, for anybody with children, grandchildren, who are maybe spectrally challenged in some way, have issues with anxiety, with attention, with focus, so helpful. So helpful. A natural supplement that can really genuinely help. And, you know, you are a clinical pharmacist. You know the data on this. You know the evidence that supports it.
Yeah, we don't choose anything. We don't formulate with anything that hasn't got randomised controlled trial data. Often several studies in humans. It's really important.
Yes,
testing
not in mice. Let's not just test on 8 mice.
How is that relevant? I think that the human data is fundamental.
Yeah.
And there's probably 4 papers now for ADHD and autism impact on young children. And I love the fact that you're able to kind of perhaps catch it before it goes to something more heavy duty prescription-wise.
Absolutely. Really, really worth a try. Kevin, thank you so much. I love talking to you. And I know that you have an amazing team of pharmacists. We're getting so many questions coming in, particularly for those who are interested, who may be concerned about other clinical conditions, contraindications with medication. Your pharmacists are on hand, aren't they? So if anybody wants to email or pick up the phone to have a conversation about a particular issue to be safe, that can happen, yeah?
That's really important part of our service, and we love doing it. We love talking to you. We've got 5 pharmacists now on the team, including myself. And so it might be me, it might be 4 ladies and myself. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
And we can get you on social media. Obviously, I know we've put links up on Facebook. We'll make sure that YouTube have the links. We can see you here, The Naked Pharmacy, on Instagram. And just use the Liz Loves, and that will get you your 20% off. Is that right?
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Check out. You'll see the box to enter it into.
Brilliant. Kevin, thank you. You're a dream. Congratulations on your new product, and thank you for helping keep me personally and my family feeling so much better. And I know so many in this community as well. We're really grateful.
Yeah, and thank you and everybody for your support. It really means a lot to us. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're very special. Well worth it. Thank you so much. You have to leave me now. Bye-bye. Because otherwise I let everyone go. Bye-bye. Genuinely special. And, you know, I love all my Liz loves. Obviously, that's the name of the game. But there are some that are closer to my heart than others. And maybe it was because I connected with Kevin many years ago. And the Saffron Sun, which is one that I talked about for anxiety, has just been so helpful for my family in particular. So big thank you. And huge congrats for Gut Love. I think I saw some questions coming in about what to take, you know, Bimuno. So Bimuno is a different, this is probiotic. Bimuno is a prebiotic. So Bimuno is going to keep the gut bugs going. So you take the two together, ideally. It's not an either or. But do check out the website. Absolutely love it. Just a couple of things before I go. You absolutely loved the live with UK Lash. Wasn't that great? And these are the two. Quick reminder, because there's a very short window of opportunity on the discount here. This is the UK Lash. One is for eyebrows and one is for lashes. So this one is the UK Brow. It's really, really simple. You just do that one stroke in the evening. This has got 3 months supply in it, okay? And after 3 months, they say you will see a real difference in the thickness and density of your brows. This one is the Eyelash Serum, and it's a slightly finer brush. And again, it just goes close to your lashes, 1 and 2. Every day, every night maybe, for 3 months, and then ping. Take a look and see. Go and have a look at their website. Very interesting studies, very interesting before and afters, lots of great testimonials. And if you want that, you need to be quick because it expires midnight on Thursday. If you're watching this in real time, you've got to be quick because your Liz Loves gets you 15% off anything on the UK Lash website. So, but do be quick, don't hang about if you want that. And lastly, very, very quickly, I just wanted to say I have got, or my team have managed to get, the most amazing subscription gift. I am super excited. I hope you're all subscribing to my lovely magazine. If not, now is a great opportunity. If you would like to give a gift subscription to somebody, you could have them start in December, so you could get it, you know, for the Christmas issue if you wanted. There is the most incredible subscription gift, which I am extremely excited about. I hope you can tell. And that is a Liposomal Magnesium. So this is it. It's called Love Liposomal. You know how much I love magnesium. Magnesium is the most extraordinary mineral. I need to do an IGTV live just on magnesium. It's supporting, they say more and more and more each year, between 600-700 different bodily functions. It's involved in the energy process of every single cell in the body. It is remarkable, and the vast majority of us are deficient for so many reasons, which I can go into another time. But this will cost you £34.99, so 35 quid basically if you buy this. And it's really good, so I would say it's worth it. But they've given us some free. Yes, so if you want a free one, all you have to do is subscribe to the Earle Wellbeing magazine. And if you're already a subscriber, you just have to say in the little comments box, or if you pick up the phone and talk to an actual real person in the UK who will talk to you at Warner's about your subscription, you just say that you want the magazine sent somewhere over there, and then you want the gift sent to you. So literally all you have to do is make contact with those people and just say whether you want the gift or whether you want it sent to the person that you are giving the magazine to. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little spoonful, because I waited deliberately. So I'm just going to take a spoonful here of the magnesium, okay? Oh, now they say it's flavoured with dragon fruit. So dragon fruit is that slightly sort of, oh, it's quite tangy and almost like peachy, but a little bit of a tang to it. Very acceptable. I really, really like it. Now, we don't have a huge number, but it is very, very, very good. So that's all I can say is those are my advance warnings. I think it's just gone live as a subscription gift. I'm tempted to subscribe to the magazine myself just to get this because it is that good. Anyway, there we are. So that is just about it for today. I'm going to be back with you live on Thursday. We will be with a fab female founder talking about aromatherapy. So talking about the aromatherapeutic benefits of so many different essential oils, whether they're to uplift, to calm, to relax, to de-stress, hormone balance, all of that. It's going to be a really, really good live. I can't wait for that. So I hope that you'll join me live. If not, you can watch me on Catch Up. We always save these on Instagram. We save them on Facebook and on YouTube. So leave a little comment if you'd like me to pick up on anything from today. The magnesium gift, it's called Love Liposomal. Okay, head over to the lizearlewellbeing.com website. All right. I know loads of you are going to be on that already, so don't crash the website because it is a really, really good gift. And as I say, if you want to give the magazine as perhaps a Christmas present to somebody, they can delay it so it goes out later. They'll get it, they'll get the November, December issue, for example, or even the January one if you want them to start in the new year. But you get the gift, so it's basically a free, well, it's less than free actually, gift. Anyway. Sending you lots of love. I hope you've enjoyed today. Lots of good gut bug chat and all the rest of it. Yeah, I take magnesium every night too, Barbie. Great. Nice to see you all. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.